Hey guys, this here is Getaway Driver 101. Today I'm going to be giving out an explanation on how to set up network security for online browsing and what you should have for network security. You're just going to type in control panel, open it, go to network and online options, online security. And if you have a scroll bar here, you're going to push each one to max. Now, once you do that, it may make them disappear. Sometimes that happens. It's not that big of a deal. Once they're all on max, you're going to click OK. Then from there, you're going to go to advanced. Going to go back into it, open it back up. We go all the way to the bottom and set all these to warn. Make sure all your warn policies are on. Make sure your send do not track request is on. If you have Smart Defender enabled, you can turn that on. Do not save encrypted pages to disk. Turn that on. Lock all unsecured images or other mixed content. And then make sure there's nothing that's on allow. You don't want anything to be allowed for no reason. Show image for download placeholders. That's whatever you want it to be. And the rest of this you can leave alone. There's no reason for you to go and mess with the rest of this. The reason why you want to have this all done here, and this one here, and these here, is so that your online privacy is being basically restricted by Windows. Not necessarily for you as the user, but it's restricting what the information itself that can be pulled from the user. And then including your web browser, make sure you have an ad blocker of some kind. Preferably, it's best to have some kind of ad blocker. Because this will prevent you from whatever website you're on. Ad blockers help a lot with removing all that unnecessary traffic. If you get the right kind of ad blockers, you'll be able to use it for malware, pushback, same thing with scams and known content. So it's definitely a good thing to have as far as having an ad blocker. It even works for certain platforms like YouTube and stuff. So that's also something to keep in mind. So have a good ad blocker. Make sure your online security is set up. Make sure your security in what browser you're using is set up. I have a video for that. I'm not particularly trying to make this one too long. And then make sure you have a good antivirus, or if not a good antivirus, make sure Windows Defender has as many things turned on in it as possible, including blocking incoming connections. With incoming connections being blocked, it will help mitigate the chances for something to interfere or intercept what you're doing. I'm not saying anything like that would ever happen, but things do happen when you're in, let's say, a big city. Let's say you're currently at a hotel, anything like that, public Wi-Fi. You just want to make sure that you have as much of your security bumped up enough to where it has some pushback on applications or functionalities of things. Sometimes if you set your security really high, like I just showed with the network security, sometimes the computer will block things that you are trying to do, like maybe government websites, maybe like TurboTax, something like that. A website that you're trying to use that's important, but you can't get on. Allow, but 9 times out of 10, you shouldn't have that unless you're running a VPN. If you're running a VPN, just make sure you go in and turn the VPN off, run whatever website it is that you're running. Once you get done, turn the VPN back on. Now, VPNs are not always a good reputable brand, and make sure it's a good reputable company that has good servers or just make sure that you're going with a client that you know is trustworthy, because you don't want to use anything that's going to be untrustworthy as far as VPNs go, because when you're using some other IP address and not your own, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're safe. Sometimes it could be on a machine that could be being watched very heavily, which means that it could give away your information. So just note that VPNs are risky to use. I use a VPN, but only by a trusted, reputable antivirus company. They're not particularly the best, but they're not the worst. They're in the top 5 category of the top 5 best, is all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that they are the best, but I'm going to say that they're in the top 5. There are other antivirus engines that run similar to them, or maybe even a little bit better or a little bit simpler. I like ones that are a little bit complex. The more complex for an antivirus engine, but also easy to use at the same time, it usually means that the antivirus engine is going to be able to pick up more stuff because it's going to have more traps, more I guess you could say cubby holes to grab something if something tries to worm its way through. So just note that you should have a good antivirus that is trustworthy, and just make sure your internet settings are set correctly. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.